Welcome to Coding with Tom. Today we will be adding an error message when the user tries to spend more gold than he has available. We will also be modifying their interface so that the items available in the shop will be blurred when their quantity reaches 0. We're going to throw an exception in our modify gold method in the kingdom service when the quantity takes the gold below 0. Now to throw, we need to have an error. We're going to create a custom one. We're going to do it with an enum, so cancel errors, and it conforms to the error protocol. That's the only thing we need to do. Now we're going to create a case for here with insufficient goal, and this is what we're going to throw in our modify goal method. Now let's build and see what we broke. Okay, so the first one that we're going to address is create a castle. The use case we need to capture now when we modify the goal with the kingdom service. So we could modify our method to throw, but instead we're going to be using result. This type is a generic, and we need to mark it with first what our success case will have. In this case, void, since we're not returning anything. And the failure case, it's going to be a castle error. Now that's what our use case is going to return. Let's encase this in a do closure. We're going to try our kingdom service method, and if nothing happens, then we return success. But if something happens, we're going to catch the castle error. We could do it like this by catching the castle error and we cast. So in this catch, we're just going to be capturing the castle error, and we return a failure with that error. Now the problem here is that the catch needs to be exhaustive. Remember that our castle error conforms to the error protocol. So for that, we're going to create an unknown error case. And instead of casting, what we do is we use the error, we cast it to castle error, and if this fails, then we return unknown. For our perform player turn use case, we know that because we're gaining loot, we will never drop below 0 in this case. So we're just gonna basically ignore and print an error if something happens when attacking, but we're not gonna be returning result here. And for our purchase shop item use case, we're gonna do the same that we did for create castle. Now that our use cases are ready, we need to prepare our view models to pass that error message to the views. For that, we're going to be creating an error view model and a presenter that will turn this error into the message. Now that we have the presenter, we can create a publish variable for the error message, which is going to be optional. We capture the outcome of our use case execution, and only if it is an error, we update the error variable. We don't care, again, about the success case because everything is notified through the publisher. In our views, we could add another subscriber to listen to the error, but notice that we have a lot of subscribers right now. So instead of creating any cancelable variable, we're going to create a set of any cancellables, and Combine already provides a method where we can store that cancelable in that set. So at the end, after the sync, we just call store in and passing in our set. Presenting the error is really simple. We're just presenting an UI alert view controller with the title and message from the error view model and a button to dismiss it. Let's see here, let's add one castle. Now we have 0 gold, let's try adding another one, and here goes our error. Let's display a similar alert for our shop thing. Let's test our shop now. So we have 480. We can spend for this attack increase. We spend, quantity is 0, everything worked. Let's try again, and we get our error message. Besides gold, you may have noticed that we have another problem. When we have an item with 0 quantity, we still allow the user to purchase another item. So for this, we could go to our shop service and throw an exception, but let's try do it in another way. Instead of throwing an exception, what we're going to do is we're going to blur the item and disable the user interaction in the view. to avoid displaying an error to the user. We will add a new flag to our shop item view model is available so that our cell knows when to display the blur view. We will have two methods, one to disable the cell and another one to enable it. We will disable it with isUserInteractionEnable. We'll call this method depending on the isAvailable flag. And in order to show to the user that the cell is disabled, we will be using a UIImageView view with the blur effect. The only thing we need to do to show the blur is add it to one of our views. In this case, it's going to be the item image view. Let's see how it looks. Here in our shop, you can see how the attack increase is blurred. Spin the defense and we get another blur. Well, we can still interact with the other cells. And that was all for today. Now our services can throw errors when the user doesn't have enough gold. Our use cases can capture that and transform it to a result that's easily processed by our view models and displayed as an alert. Presenting the blur view was a nice alternative for the shop so that the user knew what items he couldn't buy instead of displaying another exception. Hope you liked this exercise. Bye.